Muy buenas a todos, chicos, sean bienvenidos una vez más a este vuestro canal Pan con Lechuga. Vamos a seguir la parte 2 del capítulo de que vieron hace un momento, chicos, por decirlo así. Vamos a seguir esta vez. Vale, lo que voy a ir a hacer es ir a la ciudadela. Aparte tengo esto porque quiero ir al mercado. Quiero ir a comprar más cosas. De hecho creo, no sé si habrá aumentado un poco los diálogos que puedo tener. Así que vamos a ver. Me interesan más los diálogos con Liara, como ya teníamos dicho en la primera parte de este capítulo, ya que es con ella con la que tendríamos o Shepard tendrá la relación. Así que vamos a ver si tiene algo nuevo.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Bueno, eso porque la vida de los humanos es corta,
Well, we don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Intimidante.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
Ya llegamos los
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
Estás un poco deformada, como espectro Shopper para darle el gusto a Udina. Básicamente por esto.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
El mío es la baliza, tío. Me encanta esta parte del diálogo, tío. Ya, vamos a ir tirándole hacia arriba, cortes.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard. But I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
Pero eres un alien, dice tío. No. Son amigos.
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No, te equivocas. No. Como dijimos, vamos a iniciar la relación con Liara, así que vamos a corresponderle los sentimientos.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
Y sí, hay algo especial.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
Bueno, no tiene por qué tenerlo.
These things never make sense. They just happen, and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Hay la frase del galar ahí. Y
I'll
yo
keep
te
you
protegeré.
safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
De tiempo. Bueno.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's Let's just talk about something else
Lo
for
siento, no
now.
me interesa nada más.
I should
Adiós.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Vale. Ya tenemos un poco los cimientos. Ya se han declarado el amor mutuamente. Y todo lindo, bello. Y ahora resulta que creo que puedo hablar con... ¿Con qué idea no me interesa? Lo siento, buen amigo, pero no me interesa hablar contigo de momento. Creo que desbloqueé algunos diálogos con Ashley. La verdad. No sé si con el resto. Pero... de momento con el que no me interesa hablar es un poco con Keiran. Que la verdad ya lo van a entender más adelante y por qué no me interesa mucho hablar.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit...
Ah,
disturbing.
verdad, tío. Más adelante nos van a dar misiones de lealtad, por llamarlo así. Y... la verdad va a ser importante si queremos ganar la confianza de los que nos la piden.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
Eso es interesante.
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a
Ok.
bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Testigo Krogan.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
¿Y qué pasó con el doctor?
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Entrevistando y entre
You mean
comillas.
threaten? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Oh, tío, qué asco.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them.
Oh, Dios.
Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Qué cabrón. ¿Le
I
entrevistaste?
hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
No way.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
Vaya panda de idiotas, ¿no?
No wonder you hated it there. Those idiots just let him fly away.
Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Es una opción difícil, pero concuerdo con él. Ya prácticamente los pacientes estarían muertos porque los seguirían utilizando como conejillos de indias.
A few casualties is a small price to pay to stop someone like that.
Tal cual.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those hostages might be wishing they'd died by now anyway. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Bueno, déjamela a
I'll
mí.
check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Interesante la historia de este compañero. Vale, Rex.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
¿Cuáles, hombre?
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed.
Eso lo explica.
I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
Hey.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough.
Eres
I told
inteligente,
them all to
cabrón.
forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
¿Y Jarrod?
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Padre.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
Vale. Háblame de tu familia,
You
ya
must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family. But that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
Armadura, tío.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Ahora tenemos una
Just
segunda
tell me
visión
where to
del
start
altar.
looking.
Por eso así.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
Vale.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Lo que nos faltaría ahora sería Tali y Ashley, ¿no? Con Ashley no creo hablar, no creo que hablé mucho, pero... Vale.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Ah,
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Starin's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
bueno, no te preocupes, así será.
You've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
Okay,
What's so
okay.
special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
En una flota, una nave. 17 millones. Ah, weá.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
¿Privilegios?
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
Wow, tío, qué pesados. Eso es jugar sucio, ¿eh?
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
¿Y si salvamos la galaxia?
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Hombre, puedo preguntar sobre el padre, pero... No, tío.
I should go.
Creo
See you
que...
later.
¿Qué es? No sé, tío. Venga ya.
Hey, Shepard. You need something?
Háblame tu padre.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through.
Ah, me callo, tío.
He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Tu madre.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Ok.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Es muy interesante. Vamos a hablar con Ashley. A ver si tenemos algo pendiente con ella.
Oh, before
Oh,
I go,
yeah.
you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Lo siento.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up, what's her name? To Sony?
Ya saltaron los salas, tío.
Liara, why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
Vale. Y a mí nos parece. Vale. ¿Eso crees?
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her.
Yeah, sí.
Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on Family Mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Tu padre.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
Oh.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
You're lucky to have a close family.
Sorry, I forgot about your family situation.
No pasa nada,
Or
tío.
lack thereof. Relax, Williams. I've dealt with it.
Asked me to clear a bunker of armed hostiles? No problem. Dealing with the foot in my mouth? Not so good with that. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a
Verdad que
boyfriend who wanted
huérfano,
to
tío.
go faster than she did. Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Pit mails?
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Bueno, uno de esos no, ¿no?
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed.
Oh, bueno.
She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Joder, tío.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Oh, qué corto. Vale, qué dedicación.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
¿Y dónde estaba tu
Where was
padre
your father
entonces?
during this? Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Poesía, ¿eh? Vamos a decirle que le gusta.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Buen poema,
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
Oh.
Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
You know that old saw, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? I've been in a lot of foxholes.
Yeah, I guess you have. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something?
Tal cual.
I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Vale.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Ahora, a lo que nos conlleva después de mucho tiempo. Vale, este tipo de conversación nos lleva bastante tiempo del vídeo. Pero eso lo hago al inicio porque sé que aunque pareciera que lleva poco tiempo, dura poco, en realidad dura bastante, Dios. Y claro, para hacerlo al inicio ya todo bien, bastante bien. ¿Abre la puerta? Vale, ahora sí. Iremos a la ciudadela a comprar cositas y a entretener un poco las misiones secundarias, por eso decir, porque tengo que entregar cosas que están aquí dentro de la ciudadela. Así que lo que tengo pensado comprar, yo creo que serían armas o nuevo equipo, prácticamente para mi personaje, porque el resto ya se los puedo dar, pero si encuentro, no pienso comprar cosas para el resto de los personajes, sino para mi personaje principalmente. Por cierto, creo que la segunda parte de la misión de este caballero de Berner, creo que era, se activa una vez que volvemos a la ciudadela después de un tiempo fuera.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Ah, parece que tenemos un comandante aquí, ¿no? Vicealmirante.
Air Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
Saludar.
Commander Shepard, SSV Normandy.
You don't know who I am, do you, Commander? I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. Then the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship, and you.
Vale. Esta es una oportunidad, compañero.
I still serve the Alliance, sir. As a Spectre, I can advance our interests to the Council.
You still know what color your blood is, Shepard? I don't begrudge the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
Sobredimensionada. Ah.
The Normandy is a fine ship, sir. She's served us well so far.
It's a gimmick, Commander. Useless in a stand-up fight. This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, We had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
Claro.
We'd be honored to show her to you, Admiral.
I'll just bet. Wait here. I won't be long.
Qué pesado.
Commander, I'm not happy.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
Bueno, para eso está la radio, ¿no?
Modified Turian style. They prefer commanders looking over their subordinates, rather than in the middle of them. We wanted to see how effectively they can command with that setup.
Reasonable goal, but they should have studied that in a lab rather than on a frontline warship. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits of element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
We can loiter in an enemy system and monitor traffic, or drop infiltration teams on enemy worlds. Normandy can be more effective than the Solarian STG.
Maybe. But that's not the job of a proper warship. We're supposed to find and kill the enemy fleet, not count how many times their garrison goes to the bathroom.
Pero no es una nave de guerra,
we need
tío.
to talk about your crew, Commander. Krogan? Asari? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Como si tuviera elección, dice.
Between Saren and the Geth, we have enough enemies out here. Treating other species with suspicion and distrust won't win hearts and minds.
That assumes the hearts and minds are worth winning. That hasn't been proven yet. You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
Sí.
I think the Normandy is a good ship, sir. Even if you disagree, you have to see that her joint construction and multiracial crew make the Alliance look better.
Your job is to look good, Commander. The Alliance navies is to win wars. I'm not convinced Normandy isn't a waste of taxpayer money, but I am convinced that you believe otherwise, and that you'll use it to its best ability. I'll be submitting a report to the Joint Military Council. It will not be as negative as I'd planned. Good hunting, Commander Shepard. Make us proud.
Qué pesado, tío. Vale. Muy pesado. Vale, lo primero que voy a hacer.
With all this exploration of Prothean culture, this must be like a survey for you, Liara.
Our travels now are somewhat different from my normal excavations. I would prefer lengthier studies and fewer explosions.
The loss of all this Prothean technology is just one more thing Saren will have to pay for.
Vale. Como decía, voy a comprar equipo, armas primero, y después veré si hay algo, armaduras buenas en este mercado. Para los miembros de la tripulación le dejaré básicamente el equipo que yo deseche, por decirlo así, como artefacto.
Commander Shepard, sorry to bother you. This is Lieutenant Girard down in the docking bay. There is a woman here. She was rescued from Batarian slavers a few weeks ago. She is from Mindwar. I guess she was taken in the raid on your town.
Vale, hay una mujer que fue rescatada de esclavistas batarianos hace algunas semanas. Es de Mindwar. Vale, parece del lugar de origen de este señor. Mis padres. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte?
She's been a slave for the past 13 years? Is she alright?
Not really. She's a little messed up.
Oh dear.
She got free somehow, grabbed a gun from one of my guys. Now she's holed up here in the docking bay. She says she wants to die.
Oh!
I hope you talk to her. It's a long shot, but you went through the same thing. The raid. I figured maybe you could talk her out of her tree.
Tiene un acento más o menos ruso, el chico.
I'm on my way, Lieutenant. Sit tight.
Anything you could do would be great. I don't want to... she's been through enough. I'll have my men stand by for you.
Vale, es la cubierta de atraque. Eso quiere decir que está... A ver... ve a ver a teniente Renner que está en la cubierta de atraque de la ciudadela. Vale, cubierta de atraque. ¿Dónde es? Oficina CISE, control de tráfico, oficina de suministros. Ay, ¿dónde era, tío? La cubierta de atraque. Era aquí. Sí, aquí, ¿no? Vale, la academia de CISE. No, esta es la de acá
Presidium
abajo.
technicians are struggling to understand why a computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do. CSEC is investigating the possible vandalism or misuse of public property.
Se supone que esta es la cubierta de atraque, porque aquí está la Normandy y es la única a la que podemos llegar. O sea, a la que podemos acceder realmente. Pero bueno, esclava por 13 años, ¿sí? ¡Oh! No puedo guardar. Ay, ahora sí me dejas.
Amanda, glad to see you.
Wish it were under better circumstances. Where is she?
Behind those shipping containers. I've got a sniper position, but I don't think we'll need him. She's only a danger to herself. We've got a sedative to calm her down, but we can't get close to her. Every step we take gets her more wound up.
Oh, yo me
I
encargo
hope I
de...
don't need it. Tell your men to stand by.
Don't push her too hard. If she seems liable to pull the trigger, back off, or walk away. I am willing to wait her out. Good luck, Commander.
Good luck, Commander.
Interesting.
¿Qué tienes que decir?
Seeing the ward stretching out before you really makes you appreciate the Citadel as a true wonder of Prothean engineering.
Eso. ¿Qué? Talita. Hola.
Stop! Stop! What are you?
Shepard.
My name is Shepard. Lieutenant Gerard sent me to talk to you. What's your name?
Animals don't get names. The Masters put their symbols on her. Hot metal all over her back. She screams when they do it.
Oh my.
You're not an animal. Your parents. What did they call you? Do you remember them?
She remembers a lot of things. Talitha. They call her that. She doesn't remember the rest. Leave her alone.
What's the last thing you remember from Mindwar?
Fires. Smells of smoke and burning meat. Animals screaming as the Masters cage them. As they put the metal to their backs. Put the wires in their brains. She pretends to be dead. If she's dead, she can't work. But they know. She hopes they'll leave. But they put her in the pen. She didn't fight. She was already broken when they put the wires in.
Talitha, you were what, 6 years old? No one blames you for staying quiet and hoping they'd go away. The only person blaming you is you.
She wants to believe that. She wants to believe nothing would change. She doesn't want to be there anymore. In the pen, in the cages, lying quiet while they do things to her.
No me digas, tío.
I was on Mindwar. My parents died in the raid.
Lying! You get hit for lying! Get the buzz or the burning. Can't be there. Why aren't you alive? Why are you? Why aren't you like her? Broken. Only only fit to dig and carry.
For a while, I was broken. I lost my whole family, Talitha. My friends, my childhood. I had to pull myself up and keep going.
You lose your mommy and daddy, but you don't dig, you don't carry. You stand up. She wishes she could stand up.
What happened to your parents?
She sees them.
Oh, Dios está...
They're yelling, "Run! Hide!" They hit the masters. But the masters, they have lights and hoses. Daddy's... he's melting! Shh! She doesn't want to see that! Don't make her look! Don't look! Stupid, stupid!
I know it hurts, Talitha. I'm sorry. But you need to deal with this. What happened to them? Think.
When she thinks, water comes out of her eyes. The masters beat her when she wastes water. So she doesn't think anymore. She sees them. Mommy and Daddy. Burning in white light, melting, going to pieces. They can't even say anything to her. They're dead, Shepard. They try to save her and the masters burn them. Can she stop remembering now, please?
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
No, she's no good! Don't want to be handled again!
How did you get here? Did you escape?
She can't escape. They have chains, wires, needles. You go too far, they take your brains away. Animals like her come. Animals with guns. They make the masters explode. She tries to fix the masters so they won't be mad at her. She puts all the reds and purples back in, but they don't move. The other animals take her.
El síndrome de Estocolmo.
You were afraid. All you'd known for 13 years was the Master's abuse, so you tried to heal them.
She doesn't want to see other animals. They're not real. They can't be real. They can't see her. If the animals can see her, then this is real. But it can't be. The wires, the chains, the hitting. This doesn't happen to her. It's another girl. A dirty girl. A stupid girl. She deserves it. It happens to her. Doesn't it? They see her, so it's real. She doesn't want it to be real.
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
She doesn't want... Don't touch her!
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
Please don't touch her. She's dirty. You'll catch it.
Talitha, this will make you sleep. If you fall asleep, they'll take you to a place where you can get better.
Will she have bad dreams?
No.
You'll dream of a warm place, and when you wake up, you'll be in it.
She'd like that. It hurts when I remember me. But she wants to remember.
Y se durmió. Historia impactante, ¿eh? Vale, 10.
Is it over, Commander?
She took the sedative. She wants to get better, Lieutenant.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot. I didn't want to hurt her. It's just, when I see her curled into a ball and shivering, she was only 6 when they took her. Why the hell are we out here if we can't even keep one little girl safe?
Pues, no lo sé.
Bad things happen to good people, Lieutenant. That's why you and I are here. Don't wring your hands over her. Help her.
Yes, sir. Thanks for your help, Commander. We are taking her to a counseling center. They'll help her get better.
Vale. Creo que esto no me aquí es la mejor forma de terminar el capítulo. Dicho eso, chicos, espero que les haya gustado el capítulo de hoy. No esperaba terminar el capítulo así. De hecho, no esperaba que esta parte durara mucho. Pero interesante, nos relató cómo sufrió ella y en parte lo que pasó a Sharper, que no se dice mucho en la descripción. Así que, chicos, haré las compras y todo lo que tenga que ver con misiones secundarias fuera de cámara para ahorrar tiempo en el siguiente video, por decirlo así. Y nos veremos en el siguiente, chicos. Panco Lechuga se despide. Adiós.